Welcome to the dark future. Welcome to Red Sky City. I'm tormented by gnomes. I'll be your game master this
Very
evening.
good.
I was so close. For once in my life, I was almost cool.
That was cool. That was cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah, we'll reshoot that for the promo. Welcome to Red Sky City. I'm tormented by gnomes. I'll be your game master this evening. Joining me, we've got Bren, Necro, Seltzer, and Kelly. Welcome back, everybody. Fantastic to have you with us. I am spoiled by this phenomenal cast. Before I leave you all hanging and trying to figure out who's going to respond first to the compliment, when last we left our heroes, they were planning an abduction. There's a certain corporate middle manager who's been lurking around being very completely normal and not at all emotionally dampened this entire plot arc. And they've got like a surgical blade or a black bag or something with his name on it. We're going to start out today's adventure with Operation Corporate Ladder, the planning of the abduction of Todd, and then we'll move into whatever our heroes decide to actually do and execute, and I'm sure nothing strange will happen, no old enemies will show up midway, nothing will go wrong. But yeah, with that completely non-ominous opener, Brent, how's it going today?
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, just pretty chill that day. St. Patrick's Day today, so I was like doing some prep work for that.
It is? Wait,
yeah.
what?
Yeah, it is. It's St. Patrick's Day. It's the 17th of March, right?
Oh,
not crazy.
you're forgetting.
I believe you.
I'm not crazy. It is today, right?
No, it is
Yeah,
today.
you're
It's,
right.
yeah.
No, I wasn't disbelieving you. I just missed that.
Well,
Okay.
This is one of the first like big holidays that's come up where, hey, last year we celebrated the exact same way we are this year by staying inside and doing nothing.
Yeah, it's
So-
crazy. Yeah, so I was doing prep work for that. The silence as we all considered, my God, it's been a year, was just palpable.
Whew.
That was the sound of four hearts like simultaneously breaking. Mine was shattered a long time ago. Necro, how are things today? How you doing?
Things are good. Things are good. I guess I'll be the first to say we are blessed to have you as our game master. So thank you for having us. It's always a pleasure, and I'm excited to rattle some things around in Todd's head today.
Yeah, I think if there's anything that Zara has demonstrated that she's good at, like straight out from episode 1, it is beating the crap out of people to get information. So
Yeah.
I think that the team is in very good shape for this op. All right. Seltzer, how are things? You ready to abduct your character's ex?
Oh, totally. And I just want to say I had a huge personal victory today. If you'll notice, I've reached a new level for eyeliner, so we can all enjoy that now. Yeah. I figured out it should go up, not down. I'm 33. Thanks, everybody. Doing great, Joseph.
If it's any consolation, I'm 33 and I haven't mastered it either. And I was in theater for a while, so you'd think.
I was a late bloomer.
You know what? There's no script we have to follow. As long as you're, picking up after yourself and feeding yourself by a certain point, I'd like to think of that as we're doing fine.
You do those things.
Yay! Progress! Kelly, how's today?
Going really well. I already played some Valorant and Final Fantasy X. Now I get to play Red Sky City. So that's a pretty good day so far.
Hell yeah. Most excellent. Well, we'll see if we can keep that going, or if this is the last episode and everyone dies. That's always on the table.
Okay. Well, way to be a
No.
downer.
I knew at some point I had a feeling. I had a feeling when Zara entered into the fold she would kill the entire cast. One way or another, I feel like it's bound to happen, and it's gonna be Zara's fault.
I
What?
watched the episode back, and you literally start the show off by saying, "I'm ready to throw a wrench in things." So I feel like this is a plan you had all along. Like you knew this was gonna happen.
Little did she know, Zara showed up at the door with a bag of wrenches, pulling open the door, all wrenches inside. Wrenches the whole way down.
Oops, all wrenches. All right, team. As Chad has pointed out, if any of you want to live to see Japan, you're gonna have to pull off at least a few more episodes. So
we could make a new character in Japan.
that's always an option. It's like, all right, everyone's dead, and we re-roll in Tokyo. But we haven't reached that point of our lives yet. When last we left our heroes, you were in the secret experimental Arasaka bunker from before the Fourth Corporate War, buried underneath what is now the borders of the Red Zone in the heart of Night City. You had unlocked the Deep 4 module. You had configured the very extensive startup process to set up your pseudo-AI prosperity advocate analyst, who's going to help you make wise policy decisions that would further the goals of the glorious corporate overlords. You had made you'd absorbed what's left of Ichiro's consciousness into the Deep 4 module, downloaded a partition of Deep 4 into Ichiro's chassis, connected the Ichiro chassis to the old net. It was immediately infected by the Rabbids virus, and it made a single phone call to Todd. This set off all sorts of alarm bells in everybody's heads. You now believe that Todd may be connected to the Deep Six conspiracy, and the only course of action that you'd come up with so far was to go abduct him, and to figure out what secrets he's keeping inside of his brain. That's where we left off.
So we're all in agreement that we need to abduct Todd.
We couldn't just talk to him, right? That's not something that he would be okay with, Natalie.
I mean, you could certainly try. I haven't gotten anywhere using that method in years.
I mean, we do have a reporter with us who's very persuasive. So maybe she could, schedule an interview and we could get some intel beforehand. But I don't know if Todd would go for an interview either, would he?
Me scheduling interviews. That does not sound like a typical Zara tactic.
What is the schedule of
you're
which
right,
you
not
speak?
scheduling, but conduct an interview.
Oh, yeah, see, that kidnapping is definitely part of that plan.
Oh, okay, then yeah, let's just cut his head open then. I'm this round.
Exactly.
Whoa. I mean, I performed surgery on Todd a long time ago, and I installed a chip that could dull his emotions. Now, if I could get into a room with Todd, wouldn't necessarily be in the cleanest setup in the world, but maybe I could turn that chip up a little bit. I could turn off the emotional dulling. Might be able to question him a little bit.
Why did he want his emotions dulled in the first place?
I don't know. It's client confidentiality. I would never tell.
Okay. Wait, really? You're gonna cut the head? Like you're gonna kidnap him and cut his head off, but you won't tell us why you put it in?
I mean, he didn't tell me.
Oh, okay.
He didn't tell me.
Does Natalie have any hypotheses?
I'm pretty sure he wanted to do it just to get ahead in business. Somebody told him that getting this procedure done and going to such and such place and applying for such and such job would benefit him. And obviously, based on his position at Network 54, it certainly has. So, I don't know. Jerax is the one who did it and, changed the course of his life and, my life forever. So thanks for that, Jerax. I figured you knew what you were doing.
I did. I mean, I knew what I was doing, and he asked for it, and listen, I said, okay, no questions asked. I'll do it for the right amount of money. As we do live in this capitalist society.
I suppose I can't blame you.
Yeah. Outside of my character, Joe, would I know that this is a common procedure that businessmen do?
I don't think this is super common. I think there's a few different schools of thought when it comes to this sort of thing. In the dark future, we do in fact live in a society, and there's I'm not saying there's a causation, but there is a correlation with sociopathic tendencies and corporate success. So it's entirely possible somebody would look at that, decide that correlation equates to causation, and say, well, that's my problem. I have too many feelings. And say, hey, can I have these surgically removed? I would say that personality modifiers and different brainware is common in the corporate hierarchy, but usually it's things like I want to, whatever the latest thing is. People read the 21st century equivalent of The Secret, and they're like, I want to just be really good at visualizing and manifesting things into my brain, and so I want to get a chip that'll do that real good. I have no idea if any of that was helpful.
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, I was just wondering how common it would be. But I think we're all in agreement we need to kidnap Todd. And we just need to find a way to do it. And we need to question him. And I think we may have to cut open his head. I don't think we will. Maybe we will. I don't know. Maybe. Do we know if does he have like a private room or anything, Natalie, in the workplace? How do we even get into the workplace?
Do we want it to be in the workplace? Should we kidnap him at his house?
We could really scare him and kidnap him somewhere, but with all that stuff in his head, I would worry he'd have some fail-safes going off. So I was hoping we could go in and just pretend this is routine maintenance. I mean, we have on-site facilities at Network 54. Of course, a lot of employees have proprietary information in their heads, or maybe they just have a corporate healthcare plan that is tied entirely to the building space, but we do have excellent facilities on-site, Jarex. We just need to get him to show up at them and then deactivate his abilities before we start questioning him, at least.
I thought we were gonna amp them up.
Yeah. I mean, I was planning to do either. I mean, I could either deactivate it or we could just tinker with it and amplify it. I'm just wondering how we can get him into one of these rooms. I wonder if I could message him. No, because he kind of knows that I'm part of this. This wouldn't work. I was gonna say maybe I could message him and say that there's like a firmware problem with the cyberware that I installed and it's causing all sorts of people to fry their brains. But I think he knows that I am part of this, so I don't think that would work. I think we just have to kidnap him. Is there a maintenance tunnel?
We have like 2 sneaky routes and an aggressive route where like we pretend that we're maintenance workers and then we get him into a room and then we force him to do it. The second sneaky route is that he needs to do maintenance and we have to find some way to convince him, maybe pretend that he's having emotional issues. I don't know how maybe I could implement some kind of program to him remotely where he's like getting some kind of like triggered emotions so he feels like he needs to get it redone. Or we go super aggressive, guns a-blazing, kidnap him from his house, and then we do it in like a back alley.
I think you guys are missing what motivates Todd most of all, and that is just tell him you've got an upgrade. He wants to stay ahead of everybody else. I don't know if there's anything you could potentially offer to put in there to amp up his powers, but once we're inside, it doesn't really matter, right? Then it's up to you, Jerax. We just got to get him on the table unconscious.
Well, do you do medical checkups at the company? Could we schedule one for him and then take control of the room and pose as people in the workplace that are just going to do his checkup and then lock the doors and then we just interrogate him for a couple of hours?
Sure, we get checkups at work all the time. I have to submit to monthly examinations from everything to blood types and, hair strands and, very other... Natalie goes into a long list of personal metrics.
Just like nodding like, yeah, that seems normal. Yeah. I think
they don't really care if you're on drugs as long as those drugs come from an approved suppliers list and not somebody who, they have some exclusivity deals with certain corporations. So
I think the best plan of action then would be the rest of us getting into the building somehow, taking the place of the people who would perform the medical examinations through maybe you could cause some scheduling issues by hacking into the databases, making it so the right people miss a shift or something.
Yeah.
And then also maybe changing around a couple of details so that Todd's medical exam gets pushed up to a date of our choice. And we just take position in the room and maybe then we have access to him.
Rescheduling is easy for me. That's going to be no problem.
This plan seems too easy. Something's going to go wrong.
Natalie, you can get in without any issue, correct?
Sure. I work.
Bryn, they know your face, and it's not a face that they like, correct?
Yeah. Jerax is in trouble with this. I think Jerax just has enemies everywhere, actually.
Accurate.
Zara, does anyone from Network 54 recognize your face for any reason? I mean, I guess you did just throw a dude off of a building and you're kind of everywhere over the news, so.
That part's not in the news.
Ah,
That
She
part
did
was
come
very
on site
carefully
and sell
contained.
us a story, though. She had several meetings.
People at the network probably know who I am. Usually, I don't show up there to deliver my stories, but in some rare cases, like finding a new friend in Natalie, I go visit the office every once in a while to send some new stuff in.
Maybe we just need to be like, I don't know.
What do you think
A
of
bit
a
more
fake
covert with it.
mustache? We just need to cover up your face, Jarek, because they're the only face that like they'll recognize.
If I had $1 for every time someone told me to do that, I would have more than $1.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm down for it. Listen, a fake mustache, maybe like a handlebar mustache. Maybe I shave the size of my head so I have a mullet. Like some sunglasses. Okay,
What's
I'm feeling
the
it.
name of your cover identity? You need a persona.
Ronald McDonald.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, that brand has not won. In the dark future of the year 2021, that could be a problem. But in 2045, I don't think that brand is still around. And it hasn't been around for a while.
Yes.
So this winnable.
Okay. I have my cover identity. We just need to find a way into the building. Presumably, we need to also get identification, like RFID tags, so that we can get into the building and we're not going to run into any obstacles by trying to get to the medical room. We also need to reschedule Todd's healthcare checkup so that it's pushed to our date. We need to schedule so that the healthcare workers have a day off and so that they won't be interfering and we don't have to,
Yeah, I
take
can
some
just push
people
them
out.
back and say that it got delayed till next week or something.
Hmm.
They're not going to question the big boss.
What
Yeah,
would be
we-
our
we-
system for like manipulating his schedule? Like, do we need to get him to change his schedule? Like, should we advertise to
Well,
him and ask him to
I
do
think
this?
his
or-
schedule could still be the same if he does meet up with these doctors. We just change their schedule
Yeah.
so that he still goes without thinking anything the wiser to the operation room or wherever it is.
So you're saying you wouldn't even need to get into Todd's network information, calendar, etc. You just need to hijack his next regularly scheduled maintenance checkup.
We would
So
need
you
a
need
way
to get into their stuff.
The only
Mhm.
thing that we might need a little extra information on Todd is how do we know that he's even going to have this operation? Is that like a conversation that you could have with him, Natalie? Like, how do we even know that he's going to like go for
Well,
it?
can't we just, it's like it goes two ways. We don't need to hack into Todd's system. We could just hack into the medical system and find out when they're next doing an appointment, right? With Todd.
Okay. I guess
Because their database should have like a list of the people that they're seeing. So we don't have to go directly to Todd, who's presumably going to have like a bunch of encryption. It's going to be much harder. We can go straight to those workers, schedule them for a different day, push Todd's back on their end, but Todd still thinks he's coming in for the checkup, and that's when we jump him.
We could even go
Okay.
ultra low tech. Once we find out when he's going for his appointment, I'll put a sign on the door that says, actually, appointment moved down the hall. Then he'll go to the room down the hall. We got him.
you think Todd would. Yeah.
Isn't he like a pseudo super AI at the moment? Isn't that what we're running off of? You think he'd see through that?
It's so innocuous.
Todd, please go to room A5.
Oh, just
This
one
is
of
not a
those,
trap. Thank you.
appointments moved to. He's showing up for his regular appointment. People went before him. People went after him. Nobody really told him that the room moved, but he gets there. He sees a sign. It's printed out. It's taped. It's very corporate. And it says, we've moved to a slightly less convenient location. So corporate, he says, as he continues down the hallway, thinking not at all that anything strange is going on. Because it's still a room in the building. And in fact, it's a more doctory room. It's a bigger room with better equipment, better lighting. So they can get a better look at Todd's beautiful face, he thinks, as he moves down the hall. This is Natalie, like, pitching you her Todd RP.
I mean, you know Todd better than all of us. If you think that would work.
I don't know if I agree with what you said, but I like the way you said it, so I say we go with it. Paper on the door. Yeah.
I'm game.
We still need to break into the database, though, right?
We
Oh,
do.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I think we have the plan of action.
All right. Run me through this from the top.
Okay.
Since
We
I have to
need-
prepare a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
very quickly to deal
We
with this.
need RFID chips to get in. Natalie doesn't because she's already works there. Maybe Natalie would be able to get us access to maybe some tags that we could clone of the workers.
Almost certainly.
Do they wear a uniform?
Oh yeah, the uniforms as well.
Medical personnel absolutely would. Most people, like if you're janitorial, you'd wear a uniform. If you're security, you'd wear a uniform. If you're medical, you'd wear a uniform. Those specialist divisions are going to have those sorts of costuming decisions. But your average Network 54 employee just dresses to impress. So it depends on your cover to get in.
Yeah, I think the most innocuous way to get in would probably be through maintenance, you know? Like people don't look at the maintenance people. We wear the medical uniform and then we just wear the janitor uniform over it. Presumably it's like an overall.
Okay.
Is it?
No, I like
Natalie?
that. We
know.
can get into the building by wearing maintenance or janitor clothes, and then by the time we make it up to the rooms where the medical stuff is going on, we take it off, then we'll be wearing,
yeah.
and people won't question why a bunch of scrubs are walking by.
And we need clipboards. Clipboards are very important for
Ooh,
staring
yes.
at and walking down a corridor and looking at and
Mhm.
muttering, and then nobody will bother you. And the ties. We need to get ties so that we can throw them over our shoulders so it looks like we're in a rush, because that way we're in a rush and
No,
we're so busy.
everything but the ties. Everything but the ties.
You don't
we
want
don't need
no
ties.
ties?
No.
But like we throw
Why
them
would
over
a
our
janitor
shoulder.
slash
No.
medical individual
I mean-
wear a tie?
Well,
No.
but the tie is
No.
good for if it's over our shoulder. It means we're
No.
too busy to be interrupted, because if we weren't busy, then we would have corrected our tie. No ties. Okay,
Never mind,
no
no.
ties.
Some Edna mode energy over here. No ties!
We get caught in the door. Yeah, okay, so we got a plan. We just need janitor uniforms, some RFID cards for the medical personnel. We need prior access to the database so that we can actually ahead of time see when his appointment is and set it. So that's the first action we need to take, so we can push the people's days off to that day and then still keep Todd coming in. And yeah, beyond that point, probably should look up like some escape mechanism so we don't get caught out of position again like last time.
Oh,
Grappling hooks. Anyone?
Yeah, so about that, I think I need to buy one, given that last
If you're
time
gonna be
it
a full
really
member of
came
the
in
team.
handy. Yeah, thinking about the last you know.
That's valid. That's understandable. I believe those run 50 eddies, so you can go ahead and add a grapple gun. We give them 3 shots each on a fresh canister. A replacement canister is another 20 eddies.
Okay.
So feel free to go ahead and make that change. Now, phase 1 of this operation, as I understand it, is just getting access to the database. So there's going to have to be a little bit of a net run here in order to hack into this stuff. Which means you're going to have to get into the building, which means you're going to have to get, 6 meters away from an access point. So honestly, the infiltration starts before the appointment even begins.
Well,
Oh. Quick question. I do live in company housing, and we are connected to the network for health reasons. Would they be able to connect to the network from my apartment?
So from your apartment, the Frizz would not be able to do a full-fledged net run. However, you could do an electronics and security tech check to try to remotely adjust things. It's not as surefire. It might be a little bit, and it might set off some, some security alarms and such. You've detected you tampering. the future is a lot more compartmentalized, but you do have a good point. So, if the Frizz is willing, and remember that your apartment is under constant surveillance, except for like a few rooms in the apartment. It's the price of security. But getting in there would definitely give you the access you need.
Natalie, are you high up enough that if you brought a netrunner in for your own personal corporate project, would it arouse suspicion?
I mean, Natalie's instinct is no, but that'd be sweet. So I'm going to defer to Joe here.
Why don't you give me a business check, Natalie? Business, numbers.
I think I know where it is faster on my sheet. That's Jonah's sheet. He's not good at business.
This is great. It's buying me time to set up a complete surgical like map layout.
Oh,
I'm
great.
very slowly pressing the button and calculating my 22.
Ooh.
Wow.
Dang.
Okay, so your job is you're in charge of procuring supplies and the like. You're in charge of office snacks and keeping that supply chain going. I believe back when I worked a corporate job, it was office services. You had a lot of synergy on your resume based on your time at Continental in order to do that. So you would be able to bring in a netrunner for limited applications in that specific field, but security is everybody's responsibility. So they're going to try to keep an eye on that access of anybody who comes in. There's a vendor approving process that you're supposed to go through. You have to set them up with a guest login and a guest RFID tag. You have to register at the front desk, go through, pre-clearance and vetting and such.
Well, I guess last time I brought in a netrunner was to fix our snack machine. And I do wonder, when that netrunner came in, he had an apprentice with him, and the apprentice just kind of came around to watch. So maybe if we bring both netrunners, one of you guys can log into the vending machine and do some very obvious net running, and maybe our very experienced netrunner could do some searching on the side.
Okay, does that mean I have to get the mullet now or later?
Now.
Yeah, and some denim overalls. If you
Okay.
Would my multi-tool have shears?
Yes. Do you want to roll to give him a haircut?
Do you want a professional one, Jarex? I can. My dad used to teach me how to shave his back when I was young, so I feel like I could help you with a beard.
Sure. So, wait, what are we doing?
Nope, no more questions. You said yes. All right, what do I roll?
All right, so there's a skill in the game called personal grooming. You can use it to just impress people with like how good your hair is. For example, Seltzer, you just figured out some new eyeliner tricks, so you probably just ranked up.
Ding.
Ding, grats. So, what normally that is a cool-based skill. So my inclination is to have you, Kelly, make a personal grooming check. So it'd just be a flat 1d10 modified by your cool score. 8. Well, I have good news and I have bad news. And they're both that you're trying to accomplish a mullet here.
So I mean, a mullet's pretty easy, right? It's gotta be.
Is failure really failure?
Failure's a
Or
crew
is it just
I don't know.
authentic? That's the question here.
How can you mess up a mullet?
Well, last question. Do you want the mustache on or off, Bren?
Well, I was thinking we just glued a hair to my face that's left over for the handlebar mustache.
That will definitely work, yeah.
All right. It's magnificent. You've done great work. What was your actual roll? You rolled a 3 plus 5. Okay. Yeah. Ronald M. Donald is ready to go.
Well, that's the name of the doctor persona. This guy is called Steve Junior.
Junior. All right.
I like that. That builds a legacy because that means that there's a Steve Senior, right?
Yeah.
It actually implies a lot of backstory.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Maybe you came from a line of janitors, you know? Lineage.
Well, I'm actually a netrunner in this. This is the apprentice persona.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Well,
this is the...
According to
Wait.
this op, is Jerax playing the part of the senior netrunner or the junior netrunner?
I think I am, actually. So Steve Jr. is the senior netrunner, and... Mistress, who is your persona?
You are going to need a cover identity.
I'm Paris Sheraton, the most
The
influential
apprentice.
socialite in the world. Oh wait, am I? I'm a netrunner.
You're like my apprentice netrunner, so I don't know. I mean, maybe that would work. I don't know.
The richest to rags story.
It's like a really bad episode of Undercover Boss.
No, you know, I kind of like Paris Sheraton. Maybe she's branching out into a new aspect of her life, and she wants to get into net running.
Oh.
Daddy cut her off, and so now she's having to work for a living.
Okay. I think
All
we've
right.
got a real good plan here.
So, are the three of you doing the initial hit?
Yeah, I suppose so. I'm like just working on the vending machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, while secretly, Miss Frizz is the one who's actually doing all the heavy lifting, because I don't know what I'm doing as a netrunner, but that's okay. It's just a vending machine. How hard can it be?
Exactly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing
to life.
And,
Lord.
Joseph, I have an additional question. Whenever
Yes.
Zara decides to come to Network 54, is it like pretty low key, or is there like an uproar? Does it like draw a lot of attention away from the vending machine repair people?
Well, I think that's sort of up to Zara at this point. Like, Zara's reputation is growing, but you know when you're at the bar after the con and everyone's hanging out, and there's some people where like you see them and you know their face, you're like, oh, that's the VP of this thing. That's that person. Like they're kind of a big deal. They're not on camera all the time, or they're still an up and comer, but like they're doing amazing work. So because you're in the know, you know to go over and get in that circle. But for your average fan, they wouldn't really be aware. Zara's sort of at that level where some people who are in the know would immediately recognize her, but until that media score goes up higher, still a rising star. Which means it's basically all about how Zara plays it.
See, I feel like Zara in this situation would want to play it cool. It's just a pre-mission to the actual mission. She's got to keep the anger inside until she gets to speak to actual Todd. And so maybe in this case, I might just be going to visit a friend. Little do you all know, one of my, well, I say friend, I don't like anybody. Little do you know, I have a friend that works at Network 54 that I ran into at a certain point, who supposedly works for somebody at the company, but we've never discussed who they actually work for. Could I be visiting that person?
Absolutely. Absolutely, that'll work. Okay, so phase 1 of Operation Corporate Ladder. All 4 members of the team are going to the Network 54 offices. Jerax is in his auspices as Steve Jr.
Steve Jr., yep.
From a long line of proud Steves. The Frizz is there as Paris Sheraton, who is apprenticing in net running. Natalie Smith is there as Natalie Smith. Zara is there as Zara. Zara.
Oh my god!
We are about to drop the hottest album.
Oh, yeah.
We need that, parental warning in the lower right-hand corner. Yeah.
Jesus.
All right.
Steal this album.
Operation EP is good to go. So, the 4 of you are going to go in. What role is everybody going to play? I know that, I think, to me, it feels like Natalie and Zara are running interference, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be the cover for why they're there. I hired them.
Mhm.
I brought them in to fix the machine. It's been broken. Will tell you all about it if you stand here next to me. Yeah.
Okay. And then, Zara, you're going to visit your friend. Aside from visiting your friend, how are you contributing to the overall operation?
I'm just there to be on standby in case I need to swoop in and cause a distraction.
Okay. And then, Jerax, you're primarily just going to be fiddling with the machine, right?
Oh, I'm going to be playing the part of Steve Jr. And he came from, a hardworking, kind of pull your bootstraps up kind of family. Learned net running at a young age out of a textbook that he found just in a cupboard somewhere. And since then, he's just really been trying to follow in a lot of his family's footsteps of net running. And he just goes around doing a lot of pretty mundane jobs around corporate buildings. Easy jobs, some would say, but even the easiest jobs need doing. And that's the motto of the Junior household. The last name is Junior. He's not actually Steve Jr. That's just the surname of his family. Don't know why they're all called Junior.
So is his dad Steve Jr. Sr.?
It's Tom Jr. actually.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, Thomas Jr. And yeah, I mean he's got a mullet. He's got a handlebar mustache. He wears these really big aviator sunglasses, almost like they are a prop in a comedic bit. And he didn't realize, but he likes the look of them, so he uses them, and he just chews on toothpicks all the time. He's always got a toothpick in his mouth. And he's taking Paris Sherrington.
Sheraton. It's a play on her last name, Hilton.
Sorry, Paris Sheraton as the work experience apprentice for this job, just showing her the ropes in terms of how to make sure the vending machines operate.
All right. Let's start out with Steve Jr. giving me an acting check.
I got a toothpick, so I should get a bonus on it, I think.
I'm absolutely giving you at least a +1 bonus for the prop.
Oh, I leveled up my acting recently. Here we go. 12.
Okay. 13 with a toothpick. All right. I feel like your effective result to portray yourself as a competent netrunner is actually going all the way down to an 11 because of the haircut.
Oh yeah, I mean, the kind of impression I was going for was like, this guy's a netrunner, but the only jobs he can get are very low level at corporate places. He would never be trusted on a big mission. He's like a country hick, He's just out there. He's got his little toothpick and he's got his mullet, and he's kind of oblivious to the way the world works. He wants the corporate people to walk past him, and he wants them to think, "Huh, glad that's not me." But just doing a good honest day's work, just making sure the vending machine works properly, and that's Mr. Junior.
All right. Well, well done on that front. Now, let's take our other two who are on support. Natalie, you're the one who has to get all these people signed in. Dot your I's and cross your T's. Oh, thank you, production. Magnificent. So why don't you, unless you have something else you'd like to do, or if you have something else in addition, please feel free to chime in. Give me a bureaucracy check to navigate all the paperwork of getting these folks signed in for this specific job.
Oh, easy, no problem.
21.
So glad that paid off. My unwarranted confidence.
Is there, aside from just mastering Form 31 IT, what is there anything else you're doing at the front desk or to cover or to assist the operation?
Yeah, actually, because I've noticed no one really seems to log in and check the vigorous notes that I've been taking about the schedule. I've gone and backdated this appointment. I've put in like previous appointments from this business. I've really made this look like an official maintenance check because no one's really checking my work anyway.
Okay, I dig that. Do you have a different skill that you can use to log all of that?
I would say perhaps my library. I'm just making sure it's a good number. Oh no, it's not.
Yeah, library search is more about finding stuff rather than planting stuff.
Yeah, let's see. What would I say here? With human perception, because I'm kind of like aware of how people are looking at the situation and what they might look for in steps 2, 3, and 4 of verifying this.
I would say no, it's more procedural. Human perception would be if you're actually talking to the people, like, and getting a read on them. That, human perception requires a present human element rather than the inhuman red tape of doom.
What about accounting?
I would take accounting. That makes total sense. You know how to modify the spreadsheets and how everything needs to be logged in. Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
How is Junior incorporated? Is he part of like a larger service firm or what? And if you haven't thought of this, with that role, Natalie has.
I'm handing you like backstory. It's like you actually had a brother.
Here are his tax returns.
That is ridiculous. 34? Isn't that like multiple tens?
She didn't even roll a 10. She rolled a 9. Or no, she rolled a 10.
No,
and then
mathematically she rolled a
9 on
10.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a
Holy
19.
moly.
Yeah, that's
I feel like
wild.
you should just be able to find out who Deep Six is off that. Into the spreadsheet
Deep
to
Six.
figure it all out.
He also ordered this vending machine to be delivered here. I can't figure it out. Deep Six sentence.
just happened to find you got 2 spreadsheets, show to the IRS and never show to the IRS, and you just happen to have opened that one up and say, oh hey, look, the killer is. All right, so nobody's going to question the presence of Steve Jr. messing with these, and his apprentice is also included as a budget item. Technically, we're getting a tax credit for participating in the learning program, so.
Ooh. Also, they've signed away part of their likeness. I would love to tell the Junior story one day.
Yeah, the intellectual rights are now sold, not for Brain Dance, but for Holovid. That part is definitely covered. And no royalties. Zara, while all this is going on, you are on site. You are meeting up with your contact, your friend who happens to be an executive assistant here at Network 54.
Mm-hmm.
And your friends are covertly running this op on the side. They're putting all the bells and whistles in place. All they need now is for the Frizz, aka Paris Sheraton, to get into the system and make the schedule changes. How can you help run interference, or do you have any different business you want to attend to while you're here?
It's kind of like a kill 2 birds with 1 stone kind of thing. I'm there to help run interference if necessary, but I'm also trying to get a scoop onto what my next big story might be that I could sell to Network 54. And usually I like to run into the executive assistant friend to kind of get an idea of some of the happenings that are going on in the top of the corporate world, because he hears a lot of things and he knows I like that gossip.
Okay, I like that. What skill from your character sheet could you apply here? Feel free to be creative as long as you have a strong argument for what you're trying to do to get the scoop. And you have your special media ability, so I'll give you a +4 because you're looking for a scoop. I'll add that credibility score to whatever skill you choose to use here.
I almost want to use persuasion, because it's not like interrogation feels a little bit too on the nose, because I'm not trying to like get something out of him in an angry way. So I feel like a persuasion would be best. I want him to offer this information to me himself.
Okay, I would definitely allow that. In the game Cyberpunk Red, the conversation skill also applies here, because conversation is basically used to just chat with people and pull something. Again, in this case, I'll definitely allow persuasion, just based on your past history with this character, so on and so forth. But keep that in mind in the future. If you're ever just looking to chat with somebody and without too strong of an argument, just sort of lead them, conversation is a good skill to use. But go ahead and hit me with the persuasion. We're adding +4 to this roll. 23. That is not bad. That is not bad at all. All right. Well, his boss got a weird call recently, and he's sort of been holed up in his office, avoiding most of his meetings. Whatever it is, it must be pretty serious. He doesn't like to talk about his boss too much, just because, he's got to protect the higher ups. But whatever it is, he's canceled his appointments for the rest of the day.
it can't be. How could you do this? What? He's Todd's assistant?
Yeah, he never mentioned that. Still hasn't, technically.
You know, I don't even know the executive assistant's name. That's how great friends we are.
Is it one of those things where, like, at this point, it would just be weird for you to ask, and so you always call him the same thing, or just call him, hey, how's it going?
Exactly.
Like, maybe you even know, it's, again, you're out at the event, and you know why you know that person, but you have no idea what their name is, so you always have a friend with you who you can introduce and be like, this is my friend Bren, have you seen him? He's on Overwatch League. And then you're like, please introduce yourself so I remember who the hell you are.
Yeah, that sounds about right with my relationship with this executive assistant.
Perfect.
Todd's, though? Well, now my gears are turning. That's interesting information.
For the record, I actually secretly came up with that when we invented this character, not literally just now, which I'm not afraid to do either, but...
I love it. I love it.
I would like everybody in the party to roll 1d10, please.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Okay, you can probably stop. You can probably stop, but let's just see what Necro gets.
I did that wrong.
You know, under normal circumstances, I would count that as being lower than a 1. But because it's slightly funnier this way, Kelly, what is this character's name? We're calling. You pulled the short straw. What is this executive assistant's name?
Oh, what? Why do I have to name him?
Because you rolled a 1.
Franklin D. Dink.
Okay.
Has this happened before? I'm getting hard deja vu about putting someone on the spot and coming up with the name Franklin D. Dink.
Wow.
That didn't happen during our Halloween episode, did it? Because that would be.
I don't think so.
All right. Someone check the VOD. Okay, but yeah, the first time that you walked in, and he annoyed you slightly, and you just called him Dink, and he was like, "Oh wow, she already knows who I am. That's cool." All right, so he took a weird call recently, and he's been very reclusive ever since. He's been in a weird mood. He's mostly been keeping to himself. He's been missing appointments. It's very out of character for him.
Yeah, so I find out this information and I immediately text the group.
Okay.
I feel like this is a very important information for them to know. So, you know, who's to say we couldn't just go knock on his door and talk to him now?
Up to the team. You've all got... Basically, this message comes across as the Frizz is like watching over Jarek, says, oh yeah, that's interesting. Okay, and then secretly typing in, getting ready to adjust the schedule.
The last time Zara went up to talk to someone, multiple people died. So maybe stick with the original plan right now. I don't know. Yeah,
That's
I guess
fair. That's fair.
I mean, this
I like
is a
our
new
original plan.
Okay.
Because it gets him in the medical building, whereas if we went with this, we would just we'll just knock on his door and be like, "Hey Todd, how's it going? Here to
What's up,
cut
gamer?"
open your head."
He definitely has like a button on the bottom of his desk that will alert everything inside of the building.
Yeah.
Maybe after
Accurate.
last time we visited him at the office, he's learned such things. This has very,
You know,
like, episode 3, season 1 vibes, too.
Ooh, callback.
There's actually a game system I really want to play someday where your level progression is just by having callbacks. Like the more previous adventures you've been on, you get power-ups by once an episode you can call back, hey, remember that time we did that other adventure, and you get a bonus on it. And the more callbacks you have, the more powerful your character is. Brilliant system.
Do the callbacks
I
have to
would
be
terrible
real?
at that.
Yes, but I respect what show is that? Aside from like the Family Guy thing where it's just a thing that's never ever happened before, I respect that. There's other game systems where if you were doing a heist like this, you could spend points to have a flashback to when you switched the hard drive out. And like that never actually happened, but now you will it into existence.
Yeah,
awesome.
I'd be terrible with that kind of system. I can't remember what happened in the last session. I'm terrible at remembering what happens in sessions. Like, I can't remember at all.
All right. Well, back to this session. The Frizz, you are standing there. You are getting ready. If you play your cards right here with a good electronic security check, you can just get into the calendar and make the changes without having to net run. If you beef this, you will have to do a net run. But first, I need you to brush out your acting chops and roll me 1d10 plus cool to revitalize the role of Paris Sheraton.
I actually put some points. Oh my god!
You have
Wait,
the
but-
acting skill, you can roll that.
I do? I don't think I do.
Okay, then the answer is no.
Okay, yeah.
A 7. Well, I mean, you're fairly naturally talented at this.
Thank you.
I think somebody's gonna go by and clearly notice that you're just on your phone scrolling through the garden, pretending like you're paying attention to what's going on. They're gonna grumble about good money going to waste. But fortunately, earlier on, they found out about the tax credit the company is getting because of that absolutely ridiculous roll that Seltzer pulled. So this failure is gonna be canceled out by that critical success.
Thank you.
That's only good for one, though. Next time something goes wrong, Zara has to cause a ruckus or something in order to cover for it. So, now, if you want, you can roll electronics and security tech to try to hack in and adjust the schedule.
Definitely will do that. Oh my god, what is
Oh, no.
happening? This has
Oh,
been like
no.
since season 3. If I'm a guest on the show, all 20s. But as soon as I'm a member, nat ones.
Oh,
You just-
Did I mention the
no.
tax credit?
Wow, that's also the worst possible crit fail you can get, because you rolled a 1, and then you rolled a d10 and subtracted, and you rolled a 10 on that.
What?
This is mathematically the worst possible
Well,
roll.
it's only appropriate that we would have the highest roll and the lowest roll in the game at the same time.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, people have gotten into the negatives before. This is just your personal worst that you could possibly do here. So,
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Joseph.
Thanks
I'm
for keeping
glad you
track,
broke that
Joseph.
down for me. Just letting me know how terrible it was.
yeah, it's like, wow, you really could not have actually done any worse on that. That's kind of amazing. Okay, so that's not going well, and it is tripping a security alert in the system. You know, it's one of those things where somebody in IT just got flagged about unauthorized access. What would the team like to do?
Oh, I am going to I'm gonna put on my best, like, no, I don't know why my country accent sounds like Tiberius, but we're gonna roll with it. No, that's not what you do here. I was gonna do a country accent, but I just
Like an
slipped.
American country accent?
Yeah, I don't know. Trust me, I don't know. But I've slipped into old fantasy D&D, man. So we're gonna roll with that one now. I'm like, that's not what you do. You've accidentally tapped in. What? Listen, you've accidentally tripped a security lamp. Oh no! Now look at this. What have you done? And I'm gonna try and trigger the vending machine to just pump out kibble.
And
Okay.
I'm gonna play the role of the disgruntled, newbie. Listen, all right, it's your fault that you're not training me well, and I'm gonna try and make it his fault, or at least start an argument so that it doesn't look like we're trying to break into their security system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jerax, pick a skill that you can use to cause this thing to spew kibble.
Okay, I'm gonna use my interface skill if that's okay.
All right. If you're going to
because-
use interface, you're going to actually have to hack into the network architecture.
Oh.
So-
Well.
Yeah.
Can basic tech work?
It's a long shot, but it is possible.
Oh. Wonder what's the easiest?
Well, how much black ice do you think they've got loaded into
A vending machine?
A vending machine.
Probably none. I'll go.
Maybe
okay,
one. Maybe
let's hack
one.
into it. I want to sell, like, I mean, I'm saying out loud, I'm like, oh, you've accidentally tried to access the system. Oh, I mean, look, and now you've accidentally spilled kibble everywhere. Like, I'm trying to make a big deal so that when IT does come around, I'm like, sorry about this. You know, I'm training my apprentice, and the kibble went everywhere. You know, we've all been there with the kibble situation. It's very easy to confuse the kibble machine with encrypted databases.
So there I was, up to my knees in kibble. Give me a social skill first in order to pass this off. And then roll an interface check to crack the security on the vending machine.
Okay, you want like an acting check?
I would take acting again here. I'll allow acting again.
Okay.
You spent the points on it, you know, it's only...
Yes!
I feel like we summoned that negative number. Like,
What is happening?
Why are you speaking like you're a 60-year-old man? You're not wearing old man makeup.
This is the only voice I can do.
What's the point of putting points into acting if the only role you know how to play is a 78-year-old wild mage? How often is that going to come up in the dark future? You need to get those correspondence course bucks back. That was a... All right, well, roll an interface check while I quickly generate a network architecture for a freaking vending machine. Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. That's completely fine.
Wow.
Just
Come on.
get out of your mind when there's nothing. Okay, there's a little bit at stake, but it's not like you're cracking into the freaking, you know, soul killer here.
I know, right? How many interface checks did I do where I almost died, and now it's a vending machine spewing kibble, and I nail it.
You haven't even done any net running for a while because of the traumatic experience that you had. Okay, yeah. Oh no! You have done the bad thing! Oh, my apprentice, can we let this pass? And then you hack it, and it just starts... For some reason, there's a slot machine buzzer on it.
Now look what you have bestowed upon us. Oh, woe is me.
What?
I'm looking into the distance whimsically and like, yeah, really nailed that scene.
Natalie is low-key like freaking out in the background because this is just bad corporate practice.
All right.
This is my...
All right, well, we really need to make sure that, like, that kibble machine doesn't spout any more kibble. So I say we get back into the system to see if everything's fine. So maybe we should just get back into it, boss. Junior, senior.
I'm waiting for Joe to tell us the bad news.
Well, first off, I need Frizz to give me a social check of some kind to sell the part. Probably just a raw 1d10 plus act plus cool again. Unless you can sell something else, because it feels like right now...
Yeah, 1d10 plus cool.
Hit me with it.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I mean, you're doing a better job than Shakespeare over here. So... Natalie and Zara, you notice this going on. It is disrupting the corporate environment. It is not conducive to workplace productivity. People are muttering, people are laughing, people are, you know, recording on their phones to watch this happen. They're going to try to upload it to the
No,
garden.
really?
Yeah, they're going to farm you for clout. And you can immediately tell that this is not going to reflect well on whoever booked this company. In order to do this, they're not going to get 5 stars, is what I'm saying. They're also attracting undue attention, which is going to make it a lot more difficult. Like, people are noticing, people are sort of gathering around.
Well, Joseph, this also gives us the benefit of witnesses, because what I would like to do here is kind of let this situation progress and let them get as far as they can in the system, basically before anyone who actually knows what's going on shows up. And then if and when I see IT, that's when I'm going to start yelling at them. But right now, I'm just trying to stay out of the frame of everybody else filming these loonies and hope they keep their faces out of the shot.
Okay, IT is on the way. They're not here yet, but they are on the way right now. Maintenance is en route. You have 1 or 2 more actions each at most before they arrive.
Okay, I would like to position myself like between the machine and them and the hallway that maintenance or that IT would probably come from, so I can be the first one they interact with.
Okay, just literally running interference. Okay, Zara, anything from you? You would be aware of this going on. The slot machine, ding 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 ding, do 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 do.
I'm
And just packets of kibble.
I'm already making my way. Little do everybody know, I have a trick up my sleeve, and that's called tarot cards. I carry these with me everywhere.
Yes.
Now, the story about these tarot cards, mind you, is that I found them in a secret vault while I was hunting around chasing a story. And they were in pristine condition, never before seen. Nobody has seen these cards in like 30 years since
Are they
all
for
the
sale after the
scalpers
show?
got them. So I'm ready to run my shop. I'm about to run into the IT and tell them their fortune because I'm good at that too.
I think that is literally the last thing that they expect.
Perfect.
Good.
Keep them guessing.
Okay, so IT and maintenance show up, like they're rolling up. Something pinged off in the system. One of our spontaneous craving satisfaction machines is going absolutely haywire. It's flagged under this company, and they're walking forward. And Natalie's just got full corporate mode, ready to run interference, ready to scream at underlings, ready to do whatever's necessary. And then Zara, what's your tech hair doing right now, Zara?
Oh, it's like it's slicked back. It's very black, mysterious, and it is slicked back, and I look like a person that is exciting to talk to. I have a proposition for you.
And so as Natalie's winding up, in plan Alpha, I yell at these people. In plan Beta, I apologize to these people. In plan Charlie, I'm just gonna randomly name drop this executive. There's a contingency for everything, and then tarot cards walk right past you.
I knew these would come in handy.
Zara, what do you do with them as these techies are showing up? They have clipboards, by the way. They brought clipboards.
Ooh.
So you
Oh,
know
they
they're
brought
serious.
clipboards. They're serious, and I'll be like,
Do they have ties?
Yes, and they're flipped back over their shoulders.
Flipped back over their Really?
Yeah.
Hold on.
You're
They
right.
mean business.
yes.
Sorry for doubting you before.
Very serious business. So, I interrupt. I jump right in front of Natalie, and I go, "Can I interest you in a fortune? I have very accurate fortunes. I have these amazing tarot cards from many, many years ago, and I'm ready to read yours. What do you say?"
What?
Why not? Everybody likes their fortune read.
They look between Zara and Natalie for a moment. Just, again, this was not on their contingency list either. Zara, give me a persuasion check unless you have something else you'd argue for.
Hey, at least I don't have to roll in the actual chat.
21. Ooh. Okay. I've seen these before. I've never actually had the physical ones before. Hey, does an inverted Charizard really mean that change is in my future?
Yes. And it's good change.
He looks over his shoulder. He sees the two of them fighting over the vending machine. They say, okay, this is going to take at least 30 seconds to resolve. I got to see this. And they're going to go ahead and go with Zara just because it's novel. And they aren't under their KPI. They're like, right now, if this goes south, this is still on that company. This isn't under our KPIs. So hell yeah.
I'm ready. I draw the first, I show them all the cards. Okay?
Mm.
Here they all are. I drop them on the floor as the most, most correct method of fortune telling to distract them as long as possible. And I tell, it may look funny, but this is how you know that the gods are in your favor. So so I shuffle them up on the floor, and I go for the 3 that stand out to me the most, and I flip them over.
Mm.
Well, it looks like it might just happen to be your lucky day. It has a lucky match on it. It might be your lucky day. If you scoop up something close to you, you will have good fortune.
Natalie is just behind you, like.
All right. As you're giving this tarot reading, Frizz and Jerax, you have been bought precious time to recover the situation.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Would I can see all of the employees kind of like laughing and yeah.
Like they're not sure what to pay attention to. The spontaneous tarot card reading that's going on in the middle of this, urgent ticket that they've received, or the kibble just flying out of the box.
I would be like, what? You've never seen an apprentice before? Listen, this is just a workplace environment. Listen, why do you call yourselves employees of Network 54? You will not get up promoted if you keep this. Get back to work. I'm just gonna try and shame them in public. Like I'm shaming myself by speaking at a above talking noise, like there's like normal speech, and I'm just kind of shouting like an old man. Even though I'm not old and I have a mullet and I'm clearly not old.
And hair taped to your face.
Yeah, I had hair like glued to my face and a handlebar mustache. But I'm like shouting at all of them to try and embarrass them. Like I'm not embarrassed about me shouting out loud, but I'm pointing out like, do you guys have anything better to do? Like you guys are complaining about not getting promoted. You'll start around here taking videos of me and apprentice. Like, listen, we're just net runners that are working on the vending machine, huh? How about you go about your day, huh?
Roll persuasion.
Persuasion, please don't roll badly. That's okay. I'll take that.
That's gonna buy you a little bit of time. The Frizz, you were denied access to the calendar from here. You need a different plan of attack. What are you going to do? I think you're muted.
Muted?
I can no longer access the calendar from the vending machine?
Correct.
Oh. Well, can I scan to see if there is another access port nearby?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an interface check.
Also, just because I see people are watching us and then I know that there's cameras everywhere, I'm gonna cry a bunch, and that makeup that I put on for Paris Sheraton is not waterproof. So my face is covered up, but just with a bunch of makeup.
It's like facial recognition blocking. It's very popular with edge runners.
Yeah.
Okay. You have located an access point. Would you like to tap in?
Yes.
Okay.
Another flat interface check?
Nope. It just takes a net action to log in for free. So I'm gonna move. I think nobody else will be able to see anything for the time being. Probably, hopefully.
I can't see anything.
Except for production. Production should be able to see something. Oh my god, I can see forever. Let me make sure I fix this. Give me a sec to... The darkness. All right, well, you at least can see one of those freaking samurai ninja robot programs, a killer program, is waiting for you in the lobby. While I give visual access to our viewing audience, do something about it.
Well, was not expecting a samurai. Well, I guess I'm not in the vending machine anymore, so this is a bit more appropriate. It would have been a little confusing if it was there, but I guess I am going to try and slip right past it with a slide action.
All right. Go ahead and roll interface.
And that's what's affected by speed.
Yes. So but you have to make this. Oh no. Before you can even do this, both of you are going to go ahead and engage.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep trying to fix this so that people can actually see what the hell is going on. So immediately roll an interface check because it was waiting for you on the ground level. Well, that's not great.
What?
Versus a 13. Okay, yeah. So it's going to immediately attack you.
Really?
But you don't have any programs rezzed.
No.
So mostly it just makes really threatening posture. Like it just sort of, menaces you. Grrr.
Quite menacing. Very scary.
Yeah. So you now have your 3 net actions.
If Speedy Gonzalez, which gives +2 speed, affects my slide, I'm going to activate that first.
It does not affect your slide. It
is
affects
that?
when we make that initial roll, when you land in a box with black ice and you get to roll to see if it attacks you or if you get to go. That's what it affects.
That's fine then. I don't need that. I guess I'm just going to try and slide away from it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll against its
Ooh.
perception.
Okay, 12 is better. Against its perception.
Mhm.
Get a bonus.
7. Oh yeah, you absolutely slide.
Okay.
All right. I'm still trying to see if I can get production to be able to see this so that everybody enjoying at home can. But you slide right down to the next level and you immediately encounter a skunk program.
Oh, good.
Now roll for speed.
9.
9 versus 6. See, that's where speed comes in. So
Whew.
go ahead and you can slide down to the next floor. There's a killer above you that you've evaded. There's a skunk on this floor that you have not evaded.
Mm-hmm. I just want to move down one.
Okay, move down for free. That doesn't take a net action. On this floor, you have encountered a password.
I'd like to try and crack the password.
All right. This is your second net action this turn. Go ahead and roll an interface check.
11.
11. That's easily enough to crack it open. Oh, and I think I'm about to solve the puzzle. Yeah, I solved the puzzle.
Nice.
You should have vision now.
Yeah.
Hooray! We did it, Reddit. All right, now of these 2 programs, you've avoided the killer, so I'm going to go ahead and put like a little sleepy face on it. You have not avoided the skunk. You've spent 1 net action to slide away from the killer, and then you've spent 1 net action to crack this password. Would you like to move forward?
I'd like to move forward.
Okay. You proceed down to the next floor. You have encountered a control node. You have 1 net action remaining. If you want to figure out what it does, you'll need to attempt to control it.
I'm going to figure out what it does.
Okay, roll an interface check.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. From
You didn't
here,
roll that well.
so you don't have access to high-level functions from here, but you've got enough control to mess with the schedule.
Okay. Oh. We're messing with this is the medical teams, obviously not Joan or what's his name?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
this is
Todd.
not executive schedule, but you can meddle with the medical appointments from here.
Then I'm gonna just move it back a week. Not
Okay.
really change like the hours too much, but I will also send them an email to let them know that their schedule got moved back a week.
All right. You go ahead, you start messing with some things, you send out some quick emails. Now that skunk you did not slide away from. So that's your 3rd net action. The skunk is gonna come chasing after you, and it's going to attack you with digital skunk spray. Roll an interface check to defend yourself.
11.
I got a 7. So what a skunk does is it literally just follows you and is really annoying to make your slide checks difficult, but it failed.
Nice.
It's your turn. You could go deeper into the network, or you
Well,
can
I'm
log
going
out.
deeper.
Okay. You want to proceed down to the next floor?
Yes, sir.
All right. You encounter a wisp on this floor. Roll a
I'm just gonna
speed
drop them.
check.
Oh, right, I have to do that.
It always gets a chance to. Oh my God! What are these
Damn.
rolls?
Yes.
Woo!
Okay.
Finally, redemption.
Speed running.
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
All right, you have made it to another control node. You have not used a single net action yet.
I am going to try and activate it.
All right.
See what it does.
Roll an interface check.
Oh, there we go.
That's one of your 3 net actions. You
I'm
can
gonna
try
and
again.
use it again.
Go for it.
9.
Okay.
Can I?
Uh,
oh, okay. I was
what
gonna
were you
use
gonna say?
a luck to get it to 10.
Yeah, you can use a luck to get it to 10.
I'll do that.
All right, -1 luck. You successfully gain control. You have control over shift assignment, locking and unlocking stations, logging hours within this local block, within a lot of low-level employees from here. Air conditioner, lights.
Oh. I send an email to the group asking, was any of our job fixing any of these? Question mark, question mark.
All right, so as Zara is continuing to give this fortune and Kibble is still just doing, you get a text about the, do you need me to pad the hours at all?
Trying to figure out how to write back in code that it would be a good idea to grab the air conditioning schematics for that exit that you guys were talking about.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna, yeah, as soon as like, oh yeah, what are you gonna send to me, Natalie?
I was gonna say, like, maps are neat. Any maps you find are always interesting to study.
Okay, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I think the AC units need some updating. Let me grab that, and I'll take one of my. I think I have 5 chips now. Let me add that to my list of many chips that I don't know what's in the card. Let me actually put AC unit or AC schematic. So yeah, I'm gonna take that down. Can I also? Is there any like what seems like information that I could possibly sell to other people in here?
Not on this level.
Okay, then I'm gonna drop down.
Okay,
After the
you've
schematics.
you've used 2 of your net actions,
Mm-hmm.
and you drop down to the bottom of the network. Now, in the bottom of the network, this is not something we've ever really talked about, but you can actually plant viruses. It takes multiple net actions, and it allows you to permanently change the architecture, mess with people when they arrive, hide evidence of your presence, and all sorts of stuff. This isn't a super mission critical area, so it's up to you if you want to do that. It's just something we've never actually done before. That being said, there's a file here.
I'm definitely going to access the file. I think that we're kind of
Mhm.
running on borrowed time right now as Zara continues to try to distract them, but clearly like they're being called, there's a crowd around. So although it would be really cool to play, we haven't planned that. Ooh. So I think I am going to take the file and jack out.
Okay. You scoop up the file. It's full of all sorts of tasty little corporate secrets. Nothing super high level, but definitely something that the right competitor or disgruntled enemy of Network 54 would be willing to pay for.
Okay, cool.
And you disconnect from the network. Well done. Well done. Meanwhile, they have... I think this card means that I'm going to be the king of the sea. Should I go to Atlantis? Yeah, dude. This card means that if you go to Atlantis, you're gonna get hooked up. You're 100% gonna get hooked up. You can't miss. You can't miss.
Huh? Exactly. Go to Atlantis. That's a great idea.
All right. Well, first I have to clean up this mess. You've been very, very helpful. What was your name again?
Monica.
Monica. Awesome. Hey, do you want to go to Atlantis later?
I think I'm a little busy tonight, but you know what? Maybe next time if I see you all around, I'll read your fortune again.
The tech hair immediately blips. Warning. Washing required. Washing required. All right. So what are the rest of you doing? You are running out of borrowed time. This interaction with Zara is like in the process of ending. Now, Natalie hasn't played her cards yet to further obfuscate, but mission accomplished. How would you like to extract, or is there anything else you'd like to do while you're here?
I'd like to turn off the vending machine. If this has been done.
Okay, I mean, you are both... no, because... All right, so you're just logged into that local network.
Yeah.
You roll an interface check. Because you logged into basically a very shallow network, whereas the Frizz logged into like the actual corporate network. Okay, yeah, with the 12, you're able to make it stop spewing kibble.
Yeah, and I would walk towards the IT guys because I know that they're coming towards us, and I'd be like, yo, you guys, you remember what it was like back in the day when you were younger? The apprenticeship jobs, all the rest of it. Not a problem. I've fixed it now. I mean, they just accidentally tackled into the wrong network for a short while, and they started spewing kibble over. I mean, have you ever done any vendor repairs before?
I have a degree.
Right, yes, I don't have a degree, but I...
Yeah, I can tell.
Oh, okay, I'll be going. Sorry if you... yep, sorry.
Yeah, thanks.
Natalie cuts in, and she's like, excuse me, there's no need to be rude to our service staff, sir. They grade us on every interaction. You are going to get network 54. Very few stars. I'm so sorry, sir.
It's okay. I am used to it. I'm used to it. I like put a bit of pepper in my eye to let a single tear roll down.
Pocket pepper, just
pocket pepper. Perfect.
That's why you always, whenever you go out to eat, you always grab those little pockets just in case. Just in case.
I need to fake cry for my acting check.
I need blood. Quick, catch a packet. All right. They're ushering you from the building, immediately just being like, okay, get out of here. You've done enough damage. Clean up on aisle 3. Yeah, Miss Smith, let's log this in the service record. I don't know if this was satisfactory. We need to review the service contract just to see if there's any, if we can get any money back for this service. Well, I want those papers immediately. Actually, no, you're the one who's supposed to, those papers would go to. You're in charge of this stuff. Can you file that, please?
I am
do something
quite
about this?
upset with these IT guys trying to tell me how to do my job. Natalie is gonna get very haughty and just try and end the conversation and be like, excuse me, I think your job ended when the IT service people left. Now, why don't you go back and check your computers and leave all the accounting and handling this to me? Please do not speak to any of my vendors ever again. You are ruining relationships. And she's gonna walk away, and she's got her clipboard out, so she's obviously doing business.
As you're both walking away from each other, looking over your shoulders, seeing who can write harder and faster on their clipboard.
Into the same, glass double doors.
All right. You have adjusted the appointment. It is in, the next 2 days? Yeah, the next 2 days. That sounds about right. And you all leave, I assume, unless there's something else you'd like to do. I mean, Natalie might need to stick around because, she works here, but the rest of you probably... All right.
I'm clearly not affiliated with this. I feel like I didn't get wrapped up in this except to just do something fun and magical for everybody. So I just, say goodbye, one last goodbye to my executive assistant friend, and then I just walk out.
All right. Cool, casual, leaving the building. Well executed all. Mostly. All right. So, throw it out for me here. The original appointment was just regularly scheduled cybernetic workover checkup, non-invasive, no surgery required, quick scan of everything to make sure that he's in operating conditions. Did you make, what sort of modifications did you make to the appointment, Kelly?
Well, I didn't make anything to his original appointment. I just changed the doctors who were supposed to go to that suite, during that time.
So he's not going to notice anything. You just reassigned those doctors.
He notices nothing's changed. It's just the doctors and the medical team that was scheduled to be there at that time. They're not going to be there at that time. They think it's now been pushed back a week, but he still thinks it's the same time, same place.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that is a little less conspicuous.
Yeah. Okay. What other preparation does the team have? What else would you like to do to get ready for this? You have also extracted schematics of the HVAC system, maintenance tunnels in the area. You have an exit plan, which is a great upgrade from the penthouse heist. You don't have RFID chips, as you can see on the plan here. The blending in phase of this is still underway, so you have work to do on that regard. Why don't you go ahead and run me through the plan to take care of all those items?
Well, I'm going to get rid of my mullet, for one. because I don't think a doctor would have a mullet. I
Miss
could be
Friz
wrong.
pulls out her clippers.
No.
Oh.
I'm getting this done properly. I'm going to a proper establishment to get it cleaned up. I don't want to. Jax has had this like medium length hair for a very long time. He doesn't want to get rid of it, but he figured, for the sake of the operation, he wants to be indisguisable. So, I'm sure advanced AI is able to spot the difference between a haircut and not a haircut, but he's just basically not going to shave for a couple of days, obviously, until he's not going to shave at all until the show. He's going to clean up this.
You could have tech hair installed.
I don't have much humanity left.
But
Spend
my
it on
friend,
the hair.
that's fashion wear. That doesn't cost any humanity.
Oh. Well, in that case, maybe I would get a beard installed.
Color light emitting artificial hair could be temperature sensitive, motorized to extend and retract, or react to hormone changes in the body.
Oh, I have to get that now. I could just instantly switch into Tiberius whenever I wanted to. I could just get a long beard whenever. Okay,
There's like
I have
just
to.
little like fishing line rotors buried in your chin, so you're just standing there.
Yeah, I'll get that installed, but also I want a proper haircut so that I don't have the mullet anymore. And I guess Jax would get a very, very clean cut, typical of like a corporate medical environment where it's like very clean cut, the short back and sides shaved up all the way up. Very unlike Jerax. Jerax kind of looked like he should have been working in a coffee shop in a trailer for the longest time. So this is like the complete opposite. He's really got no choice because we kind of shaved the size of his head. So
well, again, you could install tech hair and then you can have whatever haircut
That's
you want.
That's a good point. Yeah, but I think he's just going to get a tech beard.
Okay.
For now.
It costs 100 eddies. You can get it done in like a mall kiosk. It's a very easy surgery. And it costs no humanity. So add a tech beard to your cyberware.
Cool.
It's fully customizable. It's got light-changing diodes in it. Zara has like the full-fledged fantastic tech hair. This is just the beard module. It's going to be much more restricted, but it has a wide variety of patterns available. You may experience some mild itching and redness for the first few days, so make sure that you go ahead and lather that appropriately. But after that, you shouldn't really notice anything. Shouldn't be any difficulty.
Cool.
And then you get your haircut like a real doctor.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try and look like I'm gonna try and just look the part, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Normally I wear the sunglasses as well. I suppose those would come off. I don't know. Do I clean up nice? You tell me.
Oh, roll 1d10 plus cool, since you don't have any ranks in the personal grooming skill.
Cool. That's not bad.
Not the worst. Not the worst.
Could be worse.
I'm sure Oro, God rest his soul, would have some feedback, but you're damn it, Jim Fingers, you're a doctor, not a fashion model. What would the rest of you like to do as we're gonna go to? What would you like to do as we prepare for the next phase of the heist? You have some other equipment that you need to acquire in order to pull this off. You got access to the database. That was the big one. Clipboards, ties, optional but easy to acquire. Janitorial and medical costumes, very doable.
Yeah, can we have like a shopping montage for all of the like suits and outfits and stuff?
Absolutely.
All right, cool. How much do you think it's going to cost for 4 suits?
All right, we got our montage music going. Thank you, production.
I guess it's 8 outfits, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although, Jerax, do you have your own medical suit already?
Well, I don't think Natalie would need one, right? Because
No.
Natalie works there.
Right. Okay.
I'm going to perform a similar role to what I did for your vending machine heist.
But we just need uniforms that would be specific for Network 54.
Network 54 specific uniforms. Yes.
Yeah.
So
it's like has to be specific to that.
Now the good news is that Natalie works for the procurement department, so that will not be a problem at all. Give me a business or bureaucracy to get those. You'll need to return them, or give me both. Give me a business and a bureaucracy check in order to check them out and then cover them under some other. Oh yeah. So you expense them under some other department's, budget, just some pork barrel stuff.
Just mark them out as damaged.
Exactly. So and then you sign off on the delivery for destruction, and then actually pack them into the back of your vehicle and drive them away. Easy done.
Could you do the same thing with the RFID cards?
Oh yeah, of course. I would imagine I would have access to attempt at least at work, right?
Yeah, you can attempt. It's definitely more of an HR thing than an office services thing. So it's going to be a little bit cross-discipline. It's going to take a little bit more doing.
Well, my question is, how does it work with the medical personnel? Are there like badges that they would come and pick up at the place and take with them, or would they arrive with their badges and some sort of authorization?
I think if I'm drawing again on my own corporate experience, you would keep your badge with you. You wouldn't, sign in, pick up your badge, and go to work. You would keep it on you. It would live with you.
As like a visiting doctor. Like,
yeah. Oh, as a visiting doctor.
And you're hiring the masseuses to come in. Does the masseuse have like a Twitch badge? I don't think so.
The one show that I did that, it was just a standard visitor badge at the front desk.
Yeah, I would hope that maybe you guys would be able to just show up and collect the same passes that the medical team would be using for that day. So I was wondering if I could go into the computer and just attach like their pickup code to the medical personnel pickup code of the day.
Yeah, we can try that. I think it's under bureaucracy again, honestly. Like,
how terrible for Natalie.
It's the skill that keeps on giving. It just makes sense.
No! Well, I mean, it's really good.
What happened?
It's like
I apply all my luck. Natalie is so embarrassed, she slaps 5 luck on that bitch.
It goes from, well, we're going to need to sign some additional paperwork and authorization to, oh, nope, looks like this is all in good order. Here you go. Understandable. Have a nice day.
Natalie
How is your crit fail still really good?
Well, because probably rolled like a 1 and then only subtracted 1 from it or something along those lines. Because you roll a second d10 and subtract it, right? So, plus, Natalie is a literal beast of bureaucracy.
Yeah.
It's a plus 15 on every bureaucracy check.
That's scary.
Yeah. No power like red tape. All right, you've got the RFID chips. They're going to be ready for you when you arrive. You've got the uniforms. You've got the clipboards. Ties, yes or no?
You guys show up without ties, I'm gonna freak out when I see you.
Wait, so we're getting ties? Yes for the ties. Okay.
Let's put it this way: Natalie procured ties as part of going through payroll in order to get all these items picked up. What you do with the ties, the power is in your hands.
Okay.
Anything else you want to pick up? Anything else you want for the op?
Can I actually get into the computer system and just move schedules around? I kind of found that pretty simple when no. How would I do this? I would like to just start scheduling things that are within my purview to arrive and happen that day. And I'm gonna give
a ton of stuff to go down, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a lot of chaos. I'm actually going to forget to tell some people to come to the back. They're gonna come to the front desk. I'm gonna schedule drop-offs, maintenance, kind of anything.
Okay, let's do business for this. Roll to sow corporate chaos. 23. Most of the time, you don't even have to roll. It just sort of is the natural default state of things.
Yeah, it's just within my purview to kind of schedule too much at once. And if there's any celebrities I have purview of kind of scheduling, because it's a network, big personalities are coming in that day, fittings, wardrobe, all sorts of.
Okay. You've created a hubbub. You've successfully rolled to be bad at your job. With great pain, with great personal pain. But you managed to do that. Okay. The stage is set. The team walks up to the office in slow motion with their janitor gear on and their doctor gear underneath. You get the power walk as everyone goes in. And when we come back from this break, Operation Get Todd will be in full effect. So don't go anywhere. We're about to open up a corporate middle manager's brain.